Hi everyone, welcome to our transport safety video for Always Furever. I'm Kelly Frey, and I'm the intake coordinator with Always Furever's team. Today you're going to be learning and hearing some really great information around the safety of transporting our animals into our care. You're going to be hearing directly from people like Craig, who is our transport coordinator. He's going to be giving us tips and safety techniques to ensure that every animal and every transporter is safe while they are taking our animals from different shelters, different locations, and bringing them to Always Furever. You're also going to be hearing from our trainer, Mikaila, who's going to give us some great insight on what to look for when we have scared and unsure animals in our care. You're also going to be hearing from our vet coordinator, Julie. She's going to make sure that during transport, coming and going from our facilities, all the safety procedures around any kind of illnesses that may be transported along with. So today there's some really great information that we're excited to share with you. So take notes, absorb it all, and we're excited for you to be part of the transport and the safety of all the animals in our care.
Hi, my name is Mikaila Evans and I'm the dog trainer from Always Furever, and today we're going to be talking about understanding dog body language and deciding when we should kennel the dog or tether them safely in the back. So first we're going to be talking about a relaxed dog. A relaxed dog usually has its ears in a natural position. It comes up to you with a wagging tail, a wiggly body, and a dog like that that's comfortable, you should be able to kennel or secure them safely in the back with a tether, whether that be a leash or a dog seat belt. An anxious or fearful dog usually is panting, drooling, they might be trembling. A dog like that that's super anxious, you probably want to kennel them so that they can be safe in the kennel and feel secured. And also a dog that is fearful like that is usually at a heightened, they're usually more of a flight risk, so you want to make sure that you have them secured in a kennel just to keep everybody safe and to give them their own spot to feel safe and secure. A dog that's showing any signs of aggression, like barking, lunging, growling, lip licking, a lot of yawning, it's much safer to put them in a kennel. That way they can have their own spot. You aren't putting any others at risk, and it's a lot easier to get a dog out of a kennel if they're showing signs like that rather than if they were tethered. Some dogs can be sensitive to new environments, sounds, noises around them, and be startled by different things. We don't know these dogs' triggers when we're getting them out of the places that we take them, so we just want to err on the side of caution and try to stay out of their face and just only pet them if they're coming up to you and not put a lot of unnecessary pressure on them if we don't need to.
I'm Craig Alford. I'm the pup transport coordinator for Always Furever. And I do a lot of the transports myself. I love doing them, doing the freedom rides. I want to kind of show how I work on setting my vehicle up, and every vehicle is obviously different. It's very dependent upon what type of dogs you're transporting, and so I always try to be prepared to handle multiple things. I did want to show you how I had to do my front seat area, because I love being able to have dogs up here. This is my dog Ripley, and Ripley was rescued from Prescott, Kansas back in December. But what I do is I actually fill my footwell with just a container. I put a soft dog bed with blankets. And you see I double tether here, and you'll see a tether coming from the back, which I'll show you how I secure that in just a moment. And you'll see how I've got this secured, and what this does is I can adjust the length here. So the orange tether keeps the dog from going forward toward the window in case there's an accident. This tether only allows the dog to go a certain distance so they can't get to me while I'm driving, to ensure the dog is safe and I'm safe. So you can see this can be adjusted. I've run this through multiple times, basically just loop it through itself and then bring it back down, and I can adjust this by increasing or decreasing the number of loops I do. I've also filled in the footwells on the back seat, so I can bring my dog beds right to behind my front seat. What that allows me to do is bring the dogs that I'm transporting tethered close to me to here, so they can get to here, but they can't get to me or interfere with my driving in any way. And this is going to depend on how we're set up for different types of dogs we're transporting. This would be my normal setup if I'm transporting 2 or 3 dogs. Normally I'm only going to tether one unless they're a bonded pair. So you can see I always have a crate that I leave in the front, and it's behind my driver's seat. That's so the dog, even when it's tethered, can't get to me behind me. But that also allows me flexibility if I need to put a dog in the crate to protect it. the other dog can go here on the soft dog beds. And again, I adjust this tether based on, you can see I've got a strong point where they're anchored here. So they're anchored to strong points. And again, loop through the leash the same way we did before. And I'm gonna show you, so like if I've got a dog in the front seat that's tethered like I have Ripley, if I want to tether another dog back here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna adjust the length of this depending upon how they're being tethered. So if they're wearing a harness, I'm gonna shorten this. If they're wearing a collar, I can make it a little bit longer so they can get closer. In this situation, I'm gonna show you how to loop this. I'm gonna come up here. So I'm actually gonna loop this through and bring it back through itself again. So you see I've shortened that now. So when I load, I'm gonna actually bring a dog out here and we're gonna load it. And you can see the dog can get to the soft dog beds, but the two dogs can't interface in any way. They can't get to each other. So you can see I currently have this loop, the leash loop through itself, and then I've made multiple loops to provide a length that allows the dog to get to the front. Since I currently have a dog in the front seat, what I would do is actually shorten this by making another loop, just taking it back through itself. And now I've taken about 4 inches off that lead. And you can see the dog can only go a certain distance. I always prefer to transport tethered, just because it seems to relax the dogs more, especially if they've been cooped up in a kennel for multiple weeks and they're stressed about the kennel. A lot of times it's harder to get them in and out of the kennel than it is just transporting tethered. So one thing I want to show you when I load a dog, and you can see Harper's ready to go. Come here, honey, come here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to secure the dog before I ever disconnect from the leashes. I'm going to tether the dog in the car so it's secure, so the dog can't escape. So I'm going to shorten this leash. I've already shortened it once, but I'm actually shortening this for a demonstration. I'm going to shorten this again. And I'm actually going to secure this dog from the collar, because if I was going to the harness, I'd have to shorten the leash even more. Come here, honey. Come here, come here. So I'm going to secure this dog to there. And you want to make sure that you always have the slip lead on the outside so you can get the slip lead off. And now I'll unclip him from his. So you see now he is secured. And because I shortened this, since I shortened this tether, he can't get to Ripley. He could go about halfway up where that dog bed is. But he's secured and he's ready for his ride, aren't you? Then to unload, same thing, just the opposite. Come here, sweetheart. Hey. So you can see they cannot get to each other. They literally are 6 inches apart. Come here, honey. Come here. Come here. Come here. So to unload, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the slip lead on. So I'm going to secure the slip lead. I'm going to secure the clip leash. Now I'm going to disconnect. Okay, come here. Come here, sweetheart. Come here. There we go. So, obviously normally we have a 200-mile drive between those two things happening. The last thing I would do is I would actually take my rescue spray, and since he was on these blankets, then I would take him home and wash him.
Hello everybody, I am Julie and I am the medical coordinator for Always and Forever. And so here we are continuing to talk about proper sanitation and cleaning protocols for when transferring pups and cats on occasion. So we like to, once you are done with your transport and we're now in the cleaning process, spraying down everything and cleaning all of the blankets from your transport. So we do use rescue. It does come in the wipes and it does come in the spray bottle, which is really nice when doing the kennels, because you can just spray it all over. And basically for certain types of Viruses, you have certain times that it is supposed to stay on, and it does have the directions on the back as well. For any Bordetella, kennel cough, influenza, anything like that, it has to be on there and dried for about a minute. For the parvo and everything else, we usually keep on there, in all honesty, at least 3 minutes, and then you can wipe it, or you just spray it and let it dry. Yeah, there's definitely that option as well. And so basically it's just going in and spraying everything down. Now obviously we like to take the blankets, take them in and wash in hot water. Always want to wash everything in hot water.
Yeah, so like I said, I would normally leave the blanket in that we used. I would make sure I covered all the surfaces inside. I would cover the blankets. I would cover the floors. I would cover the gate. It's that easy pretty much.
Yep. And same with your seats, your leather, and like any of your mats, to spray those as well and leave it on there, let it sit, and then either wipe or not wipe once it dries. And then basically, I mean, that's it. That should protect everything, and keep it sanitized for your next transport.
So if I was tethering, I would also spray the tether.
Absolutely.
And I wash those periodically in hot water as well.
Yep. And most of the time, if you have, like, we have puppies mostly that have the parvo virus, and so they're in the kennel, so it is pretty much contained to the kennel. So with transporting, we do recommend that you have an extra set of clothes, tennis shoes, socks, pants, shirt, whether you want to put a sweatshirt, have some latex gloves. But before going home in with your own dogs, just out of safety precautions, I would highly recommend changing those clothes in the garage, sticking them in the wash with hot water, and putting on new clothes before going in with your pets.
Sure.
The last thing I would say is, first of all, we would always transport a dog like that in a crate or kennel. The other thing I wanted to say, I forgot to mention before, is when you're getting a dog out of a crate, make sure you totally block their entrance and get the leashes on them before you ever get out of their way. So make sure they're secured.